Hello, welcome to this panel on 3D printing at the service of society. My name is Luis Rodriguez. I'm a technician for Universal Accessibility of the ONCE Foundation, and among other projects, I'm very much involved in 3D printing done at the foundation, where we design and produce support products for our users, and we do this to make them available for everyone. All of these designs can be downloaded through the accessibility section of our webpage, and today we're going to talk exactly about this, about 3D printing. Now, this technology has been around for 35 years now. The fact is that it's only been in the last 5 years that people have become more familiar with this technology, or this has become more popular. Lately, I would say that in some fields, we're starting to become used to seeing products printed in 3D, and this is being considered relatively normal, especially in certain fields. Now, this technology, like all technologies, are growing and improving at a very fast rate, especially in recent years. And that's what has maybe made it more popular, because increasingly there are better machinery, better materials, so that we can make more and better things. Now, up until now, or until relatively recently, one of the fields where 3D printing has been used is in industry, in making prototypes, due to the advantages, for example, lowering costs and time to market. That's something that's very important for industry. But increasingly, it's being used in more fields, ranging from architecture, for modeling, construction, and now it's being used. More construction is being used in 3D printing because it saves a lot of time, saves a lot on cost, and also in the world of entertainment, fine arts, and even in medicine. Now we can print live tissue on 3D printers, and this could bring about a major change in the world of medicine as well. Now, in all of these fields, today, in this panel session, we're going to talk about this 3D printing for support products. That is our area to create aids for people with disabilities. Now, within this field of support products, 3D printing provides two advantages. One is the economic advantage. Today's 3D printing is quite economical. And then the second advantage, which for me is extremely important, and that's being able to personalize that product. In other words, making what a person really needs. At the end of the day, people with special needs require products that are adapted very well to their individual needs. Working with standard products is much more difficult. And 3D printing does allow us to personalize the product. And it's quite simple to do, actually, and adapts very well to the needs of the user. Many of the people that are watching this now, you're maybe already familiar with 3D printing, or at least you know that things are being done in this field. I imagine that maybe others of you didn't know that things are being done in this field. And today, in this panel session, we're going to talk a little bit about these issues and the things that are being done and what the future holds. And to do that, we have 4 experts. who are going to tell us a little bit about their experiences. They're going to introduce their projects, which I think are very interesting. And many people can benefit from these because really at the end of the day, they're doing all of this, I would say, in a very altruistic fashion. And we will all benefit from from their work. We have Egoya and Alberto Martinez from 3D LAN. Hello. Hello. How is everyone? We're very happy to have you with us on this panel. We're very happy as well. Thank you. Then we have Francisco Diaz from Auto Fabricantes. Very interesting project from Francisco. Hello, Francisco. Hello. Also very happy to be on this panel. Thank you. The pleasure is ours, Francisco. And we have Alberto Vivas, who is from a group called Ayúdame 3D, and is working on a very interesting project. Hello, Alberto. Hello. Very happy to be here with you. So thanks a million to all of you for having accepted our invitation to participate on this panel. And I would like you to introduce yourselves and your projects so that people can become familiar with who you are and what you're doing. And what awaits us in this world of 3D in support of society. So without further ado, Alberto and Egoy, we would like to listen to you now. Thank you. Well, thanks very much, Luis. My name is Egoy Escarga. I'm an industrial engineer, and after working for several years in the world of industry and in technological centers and research, working on making tools, I met two people that really changed my professional career. One is Isan, and one other is Alberto Martinez, who's here with me now. And we had an idea, and that has become what is now a company. It's called 3D LAN. So we want to talk a little bit about what we're doing in our company. My name is Alberto Martinez. I studied fine arts, and I came into the world of 3D printing through design. I was a web page designer, and it was about 10 years ago that we began with printing here in Bilbao. And I was always thinking about a real application of 3D printing. And as you said, Luis, the properties of 3D printing to manufacture things in a very cheap way, and the ability to personalize products. Well, that really fit right into the world with people that have a disability. So we had a project that we put together for children that needed our artificial limbs, and we manufactured those in 3D. And that's when we met, and we saw that there was a lot of needs of this type. So we can talk a little bit about how we work. Yeah, Alberto, we're going to share the presentation with all of you, and we'll talk a little bit about what 3D LAN is all about, our company. Now, why 3D LAN? As Luis and Alberto both mentioned, we can manufacture personalized objects, and 3D LAN is fostering this diversity. And we wanted digitization and technology and 3D printing to facilitate or provide solutions for personalized support products for people with special needs. Now, together with the technology has gotten cheaper, and so we wanted to implement this project, and it became an association. At the end, we want to create solutions using 3D printing and show the different personalized products that we make. And then we share these in a repository with a view to personalize each one of these objects for individual users. Here we have an example, one of the oldest examples. This is Celia. Celia is a young girl she needed a special support for her feet on the wheelchair. And so we created this footrest. And this is, I think, a perfect example of how we co-create with the users and how we can share that then. Here we have an example of Yulin. Yulin has cerebral palsy, and he uses a computer to communicate, and to control that, he needs a special device. And we designed this button so that he can use the computer. And this was we created this as a drink holder, and this was another design that we used for the wheelchair. We went through, I think, 3 improvements. It was the 3rd design, actually. We saw that this worked. Very simple design here to hold the drink on a wheelchair. So we can do a lot of different things. We do the design. Here we have like a cast, a type of cast. This is a model that we put together some time ago for people who are having problems, maybe with a broken bone or with a wrist problem. And here we have our trajectory. Yeah, this is the birth of 3D LAN, who started off as a company. We had some support, local support from the local government in the Basque country. And we've had a lot of contact with disability associations here in Vizcaya, in the Basque country, and more associations have joined our group. And since 2019, and then over 2020, which was a complicated year, as we know, we put together a project that we're going to present today, which is working with different vocational training centers together with these disability associations. And what we do is identify different needs of users from the associations, and we bring these to the classroom in these vocational training centers so that they can solve these problems using 3D printing. This is a really interesting project. So at the end of the course, what we do, we have an event where we share our experiences and the results that we've obtained. We think this is very interesting. We're very happy. And in terms of looking to the future of these technologies or the application of these technologies, well, what we're doing is sharing this with the vocational training centers and to get them involved in the design of these objects, these support devices. What we're doing is creating a lot of designers with this social point of view of technology. And I think that we're going to need them in future years. When we want to do more and more things, we're going to need that support, the support of those people. New designers who will, for society. So this is just one of the examples that we've done in our association, 3D LAN. Thank you very much, Egoyu and Alberto. I think that you're doing very, very interesting work. And that is benefiting many people. Let's see later if we have time to answer maybe some questions, because I'm sure that some people are going to have questions. I'm going to give the floor now to Francisco, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the project that he's working on in Alto Fabricantes, self-manufacturers, so that you can understand that. And I'm sure that we'll be very happy to hear about that. And we'll probably have some questions for Francisco as well. Hello. Well, my name is Francisco Diaz. I'm a coordinator and researcher in Alto Fabricantes. And you're seeing me, but we have a 15-member team here that's been working for more than 5 years in Madrid and coming up with a lot of solutions and alternatives in 3D printing and different types of support products. Now, with the whole history of 3D printing and support objects, I began when I was finishing my studies at the University of Seville, that's where we had the first 3D printers, actually, in Spain. And we've been working for several years, making small things, experimenting. When a family was going to have a child, for example, they had a problem with the hand of one of their children. So we started to do some research. We saw that there were solutions, and from there we generated a project. We started to work on that, and we formed a community of people that wanted to think of how to do things in a different way. And this gave rise to the generation of solutions that came from the users themselves. And so was how our group was born. This self-manufacturing or Alto Fabricantes group was formed. I'm going to put my presentation on the screen. I hope you can see it. Perfect. Yes, we can see it. Well, here I'm going to tell you the story of Judith. These are two children. One's from Madrid and Janet is from Colombia, and they were with us. And they changed our company, and I think that we maybe have helped them improve their life a little bit. And so this was a kind of through the research that we've done and providing tools through 3D printing and other types of manufacturing, but especially this technology that has been, or that allows us to share knowledge very easily. It's flexible, it's cheap, and it can be personalized, and we can use many different types of materials. We work through workshops, creative workshops with the users, with the families who are playing. Trust and design is very important. And at the end of the day, we have a lot of experts in 3D design, 3D printing, and all types of engineering. But they're the experts. So we establish this trust relationship that results in innovation because the children, are the ones that have the solutions to their own problems because they know their environment and their context. And so we work together. So we did these mechanical limbs, these prostheses. We worked with the university, the Polytechnic University of Madrid, and we had 4 research projects open for artificial arms, legs, a special wheelchair, and 3D printing. And you can imagine that was a very complex project. And we've been moving forward with each one of the projects and collaborating, bringing all of the know-how from the universities towards meeting these real challenges. We've collaborating with other associations at national level, like the association in the city of Cuenca for adapted music to be able to play in an orchestra. And And we make our projects replicable. And when this myoelectric prosthesis was an extremely complex project, but here we're moving forward with this myoelectric prosthesis and to make this accessible at all different levels. Now, in this innovation that I talked about before, when you ask a child, how do you want your prosthesis to look? He said, I want a hand. I want to be able to play basketball. And that's where we came up with the Super Giz project. And these are types of gloves that we've manufactured. And that gadget, it does helps the child carry out that activity. We've had really fun workshops with 6 or 7 children, and year after year, we've been adding more and more functionalities so that now it has more than 30 different functionalities. And there's an online design so that any person in the world can use this. And it's designed for 3D printing and in open code, so anyone has access to this. There's a lot of institutions and projects that participate in this. And so summing up, there's a lot of hours of work, a lot of volunteers from a lot of people that have been collaborating in this project. People in other countries as well. In Mexico, we have a project. And the next challenge that we're looking at for the future and in the present is scientific medical certification of our projects, and quite difficult, but the standardization for the CE brand mark. And just wanted to leave you with this video about Janet and her smile with the first time that she used her artificial limb. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francisco, for that wonderful presentation, and especially for the great work that you are doing while helping a lot of people. Thank you. Now, Guillermo will talk to us about their project from Ayudamed 3D, where there are lots of people that they're helping out and who is profiting from the work that you're doing. Go ahead, Guillermo, you have the floor. Again, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very lucky to be working with the organizations that you mentioned. These are wonderful projects that I am very well acquainted with. You have inspired me many, many times. I'm going to tell you what we do at Ayudamed 3D. We started in 2017. I'm an industrial organization engineer. I have a passion for creating projects. I've worked in the world of toys before. So I love to be able to design new projects, new things through 3D, through 3D printing. I was a consumer for 3D printing products in 2012, 2015, and that's when I started learning about this technology. We've acquired this knowledge of how we can do social things through 3D printing. I started with by making a saving drone. It was fully 3D printed, fully automatized. It could go into places where people couldn't access. And this is something that I did for my final degree project. So it was a way to help people out. It's something that I keep doing now, but I'm also involved in this other project. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you and I will keep telling you things. In the end, at Ayúdame 3D, what we do is using new technologies to help out people who need it, vulnerable members of society, people who cannot afford a device that can help them out in their day-to-day lives. Some are amputees or people who are missing a limb and they cannot afford prostheses, as I said. So we try to reach anywhere in the world and be able to provide people all around the world with what is that they need. So we began in a trip to Kenya and we brought 5 prosthetic arms using these models of Enable the Future. It's possible to open and close their hands. Is a very basic model, but we are moving forward and improving this initial design. Then we started to redesign all of the models that we had fabricated and using the feedback from the users. So we created these new models. Each of these products needs to be fully customized. We started taking into account aesthetics. We use knuckles. We put in the color that this person decides to have, whether it's their own skin color or a different one. All of this is fully free for people who need it. And right now we're working in 55 different countries and we deliver over 350 arms each year. We not only have improved how we do things, but we're trying to promote the social value of technology. So we not only deliver arms, now we're delivering 3D printers. We have trained these 2 people, Lydia and Nelson, in 3D printing. So they're already printing out arms for people who need it, who live around them. Other people who might need our help, they might not know us or know how to reach us. Well, they have people close to them that can help them out. These 2 guys have great knowledge and expertise on this field right now. So we're not only staying in Kenya or in Spain, we're trying to reach any country that might need us. We have developed a very simple logistical process. We have 100 partners in Spain who are experts in 3D printing. They've produced these devices. We provide them with the materials that they need. They prepare the package, and we manage the logistics from their home to the final destination. And we provide the people in the destination country with all of the information and all the instructions they might need for their arm to work properly. We're also developing volunteering training sessions. We also work with physical rehabilitation professionals. We not only want people to be able to grasp a bottle or a glass, we want them to be more independent, fully autonomous, for them to not need someone else to help them out on their day-to-day lives. We are not only working with only 3D arms, but we're also working on other type of devices. It's arms are the ones that we produce the most. Through the pandemic, I know that there are no 3D printer in Spain that did not provide face masks as the ones we can see here, these shields that health workers are using. So we try to reach small pharmacies in small towns, in remote towns. We deliver over 20,000. We had already done this. We already had this 3D lab in Kenya, So they were able to produce them as well in Kenya. So if it was difficult to find them here, imagine in the Rift Valley it was even more difficult. So many of these awards that we have received is a way for us to be better known, to be able to reach a larger number of people, and this has also helped us to receive funding to be able to keep working and to be able to provide our products for free. We received this award, the FENIN Award, for the best socio-sanitary institution in Spain. This is wonderful. We're here to help anyone who might need us. We're trying to keep moving forward to develop new ideas. We produce prototypes with things that are already there. We don't want to start from scratch. We've been able to create this device for people who don't have an elbow, and this can provide them the articulation that they need. We have here a pill holder for people with Parkinson. It doesn't matter how much you shake it, it will only provide one pill. So we're trying to reach more people, to do things that can help the most people possible. We're also doing the Chemo Box project. It was self-managed by anyone who was able to provide these devices. These are bags that cover, they're boxes that cover the bags for chemotherapy for children in hospitals, and we're able to put any illustration that they might like. We're doing this so any family can ask for them and we can provide them with it. Everything is free, everything is wonderful. We're super happy we're able to deliver this. We don't matter, it doesn't matter where you're from, what you have. How are we funding this project? We do social corporate responsibility with companies, with schools, and we want people to change their minds, both in companies and in a school, so they can see that technology is a means to help others. You have information about us in our website, and we're designers, so we are now producing solidarity projects. We have bio doctors, designers, art designers, all of them can provide these designs. We get companies, foundations, universities can generate this type of products, and this helps us to fund Ayúdame 3D. Right now we're in the wonderful loft that is provided by the Municipality of Madrid. We have lots of 3D printers. This is where I am. I don't know if you can hear the noise, but the printers are working non-stop. So we're also trying to find the sponsors so that we can work in an open space where people can come in and help out with us. Sorry, we're having some building works in our space. A beautiful project is to have these devices for children who want to have a certain aspect. So this is a Spider-Man arm. So when one of these children, when they grow and they need a bigger size, they need a different decoration, we can provide them with what they need. So here's an example.
Lógicamente, esto es la mayor motivación para seguir haciendo lo que hacemos y al final darte cuenta de que ayudar es demasiado fácil como para no hacerlo. Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Guillermo, por la presentación. Y la verdad es que es impresionante lo que estáis haciendo todos. Tú al final has tocado ese tema porque a mí la primera pregunta que se me ocurre haceros es, ¿estáis dedicando un esfuerzo, un trabajo, un tiempo, incluso unos medios económicos a hacer cosas para ayudar a los demás? Además, me gusta mucho esa frase última que has dicho, Guillermo, de ayudar es demasiado fácil como para no hacerlo, ¿no? Entonces, tú has tocado ahí un poquito el tema, pero a mí la primera pregunta que se me ocurre
You've
es,
touched upon this
yo
subject,
tengo acceso a todo eso que vosotros estáis haciendo.
but do I
Yo puedo disponer
have
de un
access to
tamaño,
everything that
puedo
you're
adquirir
saying?
de
I
unas
can
las ayudas
use an
técnicas que se
arm,
hacen también
the
desde
technical
3D
aids that I
para
can
lo que yo
receive
necesite.
from 3D
Y además
Land
no
for
me
anything that
cuesta
I might
nada.
need.
Yo tengo
And it
acceso de forma
doesn't
gratuita.
cost
¿Cómo
me a
financiáis
penny.
todo esto?
How are you
¿Y cómo se
funding
ayudan
all
entidades
of this?
públicas? Al final
Do you
encontráis
have
apoyo en entidades
public
privadas.
entities or private
Le
companies?
vamos, le dedicáis muchísimo tiempo, muchísimo esfuerzo
I
y
realize that you
además
put in a lot of time and
requiere de verdad,
effort,
aunque no sea en una medida
and
enorme,
it requires
requiere de un apoyo financiero, ¿no? De
a,
un
a
apoyo
big
económico
financial
de mucho,
funding.
mucho
We're not
medio,
talking about
porque
millions
bueno, las cosas cuestan
here,
dinero.
but
Me
well,
gustaría
everything
que
has a
nos
cost.
respondieseis así rapiditos,
Can you
no
answer
sé, no
me
sé qué
rather
tiempo ya
quickly?
sabéis que
Because,
falta, pero sí me
w-
gustaría conocer
otherwise we'll
eso
run out of
y bueno,
time.
pues
But I
hombre,
would like to know how that
me gustaría
process works
apoyaros,
and
¿no? En este aspecto.
how would you like things to work in this sense?
Cualquiera de vosotros.
Anyone
Vale,
can
pues si
answer.
queréis, empezamos nosotros.
We can start if you
Nosotros
want
el
to.
proyecto que venimos a presentar, que ha sido en colaboración con los centros de formación profesional y las
The
asociaciones
project
de
has been in
discapacidad.
collaboration with
Entonces,
disability
llevamos ya hasta
associations
3
and
años,
vocational training
gracias
centers. We've been doing this for 3
financiado por
years.
la obra social
It's
BBK, que es la Fundación BBK,
funded by the
y
BBK,
gracias a ellos
this
estamos
bank
pudiendo
foundation,
hacer este tipo
and it's because of them that we are able
proyectos.
to do this type of
Sí que es
projects.
verdad que es una pata muy importante. Nosotros somos una
Is a
asociación muy
very
pequeña
important
y
part
nos
of
cuesta
what we
mucho
do. We are a very small association,
algunos de
so
los
it's very
programas
difficult for
que
us
se hacen desde
to be
diferentes
able
fundaciones.
to access the
El año
different
para la
programs that are
creación
offered
tuvimos la suerte
by the
de poder
foundations.
optar a una ayuda de la Diputación de
We were
Vizcaya,
able
como ya
to
hemos comentado
receive
antes.
an
Y luego,
aid
pues bueno,
from
sí que preguntamos
the
a los ayuntamientos
municipality of
de aquí,
Vizcaya,
del municipio, porque hemos nacido y hemos crecido con el
since
Ayuntamiento de
we
Lecho, por ejemplo, con el
lived and
Ayuntamiento de
worked
Lechevarri,
always in
poder hacer ciertos talleres y ciertas
in
actuaciones.
our local
Sí que es
towns.
verdad que
We are
es
able to do some
complicado
workshops, but it's
para
difficult for
nosotros
us to
buscar esas
receive
financiaciones
funding.
que nos ayuden a seguir haciendo este tipo de actividades y luego ser más ambiciosos también.
So it's difficult for us to get more
Sí, bueno, tenemos otro proyecto,
ambitious.
llevamos ya también unos años, que es
We have another
darle
project,
surf a personas con discapacidad,
which is to
y
adapt
también, de nuevo,
surfing for
hemos
people with
conseguido apoyo
disabilities.
de la Diputación.
We've been
Pero
able
en
to
efecto,
receive
sí,
the
es un
help
trabajo
of
muy
the
importante que
local
nos permite
government.
dedicar
Well,
tiempo y con la
it is
ayuda
a
que
very
nos
important work, and it's what allows us to be able to have the resources and the people to do it. I don't know the rest of you. What's your
Bueno, veo
perspective?
que además de dedicar vuestro tiempo a trabajar, a diseñar, a
I
hacer
see that you
proyectos,
are not only
también dedicáis una
designing
parte de
and
vuestro tiempo a
working,
intentar
but
conseguir
you also try to find the
Francisco,
funding that you
Guillermo,
need.
comentadme vosotros cómo
Francisco,
Igual.
Guillermo.
Sí, igual. Hay un curro
Yes, well,
gigantesco,
it's
igual
the
que os
same.
pasará,
There's
bueno, pasará a todas y a todo,
uh,
de fundraising, de buscar
a lot of
financiación de
fundraising,
instituciones
trying to
públicas,
find
en
funding
fundaciones,
through
en
public
empresas,
institutions,
en general, como el
companies,
marco para que esa petición de financiación tenga cabida y tenga
and it's
sentido.
the framework that we need to
Pero
have for
no es nada
this.
fácil, me gustaría decir otra cosa, no es nada
It's very
fácil
difficult. It's
que
not
una
easy
institución pública
at all
confíe en
to
ti
find a
y
public
genere
institution that
financiación,
is
nunca
happy
será
to
para estar
trust
tranquilo
us
un tiempo, ni un
and
año ni dos.
provide us funding
Y nosotros hemos
for in
tenido
the long
suerte
term.
de, por ejemplo, de estar en Media Las Prado, de crecer
We
en
got
Media Las Prado
lucky
como una
because we
institución
were able
pública
to work in Media
en el
Lab
Ayuntamiento de
Prado
Madrid,
in Madrid,
donde hemos tenido la suerte de
so
tener
Madrid's
espacio e infraestructura y una red.
municipality.
un poco de presupuesto para talleres
We've been able
públicos
to
con
have
familias.
resources to do workshops with families,
De voluntariado, que al final es la investigación que desarrollamos,
but
parte
the
del desarrollo,
volunteering
eso ha sido
for
voluntario.
research
Y eso es impagable.
and development, that was all
Y creo que
volunteer
seguirá
work.
siendo impagable en un corto plazo, porque no
And in
hay-
the short
no
term,
tenemos
it
un
will
volumen
keep
de
being
financiación
something
como para-
that we
como para
cannot
asumirlo.
pay for because we don't have the
Y
level
hemos
of
tenido
funding to
suerte
cover it.
de haber encontrado financiación, por ejemplo, de la Fundación Danielina Carasso.
We receive funding from different foundations. We are always trying to reach different foundations and organizations to receive a small amounts of funding, and we're always fighting to reach this funding, at least to keep us working for 6 months to a year. Guillermo, as you were nodding, I assume you're having the same issues. Yes. We might be engineers, 3D printers, but maybe we don't know how to deal with bureaucracy. It's terrible. They need to help us out. For these institutions, it should be an achievement to be able to reach so many people and to develop these wonderful projects. I would like to make a call for attention to have people help us out. What we want to do is help people out, but we need help in fighting bureaucracy. We spend lots of time filling out paperwork, and all of this time that it only works to receive funding for a couple of months, but we need to keep working on that all the time. We're always thinking long term. That's why we try to collaborate with schools and business to prepare a business model that is scalable. So we try these programs and with these solidarity products. So we don't need to be so dependent on public grants and help. Right now, well, what we do is right now is a novelty, but over time it will no longer be such a novelty, and it will be more difficult to receive the awards that we have been receiving. So we work with different organizations. As I mentioned, we have our little mascot, and we want to raise awareness about what we do. So we do all of this work that I mentioned with companies and schools to receive funding for our projects. And we're a team, and well, you can make a living out of doing this wonderful work of helping people out. Well, it's wonderful, it's amazing all of the work that you do. You not only spend time designing and printing, you also dedicate all of this time to fill out paperwork, all of this work that as technical people usually don't enjoy doing. I think what you do has an even bigger value. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. I would love to spend hours and hours listening to what you do, but I would really like to say that I greatly appreciate you finding the time to be here with us today, for finding the time to showing us your projects. I would love to encourage both public and private institutions to support you more and more, and also to encourage individuals to join these projects, for them to become volunteers as well. I think we can help out in many different ways. At least we can help out a little bit. Again, thank you very much for being here with us today, and I hope we can see you again again. Thank you, and a big hug to all of you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.